Yeah, g'day. Where were we? Oh yeah, that's right. I was telling you the story of how we started the fundraising drive for charities in the bush. And boy, oh boy, did I learn a lot about the bush in those years. 2006, 7, 8, 9, even up to 2010, because there was the worst drought ever in New South Wales history. Bushfires, droughts, the whole lot. And while we were driving around town to town, we'd see the results of a bushfire on one side of the road. Just charred trees, black, nothing. And I got to thinking, as we drove down the road and we saw dead kangaroos, dead wombats, dead koalas, etc. What do these poor animals do? What do kangaroos do? There's no grass to eat. What about the koalas? They live in trees. The trees are all burned down. And what would happen if a koala was in a tree and it burned down while he was sitting there and he couldn't get away? Couldn't outrun the flames. They're going so fast. And so I got to thinking and I thought, well, maybe I should write a poem about this, because that's one of the things that I do. I've always done that. And so I wrote this long poem called The Adventures of Carey and Careful. I called one of them Carey Kangaroo and the other one I called Careful Koala. And there's a story behind that, but we'll talk about that another time. But what happened was, I thought, well, gee whiz, you'd have a koala in a tree and bushfires move so fast that he wouldn't even know what was happening. He'd see all the birds flying away, and by the time he got around to moving, his trees had burning to a crisp, and so was he, because the branch burned through. And what happened was, he fell to the ground and bounced back up, but bugger me, luckily enough, there was a koala hopping by, one of his old mates, a kangaroo hopping by, getting ahead of himself. Kangaroo hopping by, and he bounced off the ground, up and straight into the kangaroo's pouch. Now, you know what the kangaroo said to him? Geez, you're bloody lucky, mate. And he said, yeah, if it wasn't for you, I'd be toast today. And the good old kangaroo said, hey mate, I better hop you off to the dock, see if we can get fixed up. We're both burning to a crisp here. And that's what I wrote. And I wrote a whole lot of little different stories about it. And I put it away and I never thought about it again for a while. And then much later on, I got an opportunity to bring them to life. The koala, Careful Koala I called it, in the wheelchair, because after they'd been to the dock, he'd sort of buggered his neck and buggered his eye. He'd lost one of his eyes, so he had a patch and a neck brace and stuff. And the kangaroo, he always had a bandaged ear and a bandaged tail, because he got so badly burnt in the bushfire. And anyway, they had a series of adventures, and that was decades ago now, as you can read in the Carey and Careful storybooks. And that was the start of it, actually being in that bushfire setting and seeing the drought and the effects of bushfires and drought, and how the poor animals and the humans all suffer. There you go, how's that?